to honor their lives so they won't be forgotten. Juneteenth celebrates the freedom of those enslaved. So today I share my furthest ancestor back. Rena Quincy Smith, born about 1848, from Chesterfield County, South Carolina, spent most of her life in Darlington County. Caesar Samuel's family, mom and dad, were both born in North Carolina, but he was born in South Carolina and lived most of his life in Darlington County.
Lucy Bostick, born in 1815 in South Carolina. She died in Darlington. Not sure if she spent her entire life in Darlington County or not, but she was owned by some slave owner named Daniel DeVos, who had 2 other slaves in his household. Tom Sims, born about 1828 in South Carolina, died in Darlington County, South Carolina. He and his wife were owned by enslaver Daniel DeVos.
Jeanette Campbell, about 1848, Chesterfield County, South Carolina. Robert Reed, about 1850, Chesterfield County, South Carolina. Sarah Ellen Holmes, Chesterfield County, South Carolina, about 1850. That name Ellen was passed down through many different lines. George McCall, 1800s. Another record showed him born around 1810, so I have no way to verify because it's based off the census takers' knowledge. And those who gave the information could be a neighbor, could be somebody in the house, could be a grandchild. They wouldn't possibly know everything. He was born about in Chesterfield County, and that name George shared through many different lines, many different branches, many different regions of the United States. William Curry, Lancaster, South Carolina. His family line married into the George McCall's family line. The name William itself carried on through many different generations, many different family lines. Matilda Short, circa 1857, Lancaster, South Carolina. Isaac Barnes, born about 1854, Lancaster, South Carolina, husband of Matilda Short. Hannah Lucas, born about 1820 in South Carolina, lived her life in Marlborough County. She was my 4th great-grandmother. Elsie Boatwright, Chesterfield County, South Carolina, about 1840. Tony Collick, Marlborough, South Carolina, born about 1825. In other records, his name is spelled Tony. Eliza Collick, born in February 1830 in South Carolina, lived her life in Marlborough County. William Gillespie, about 1810, Marlborough County, South Carolina. It's also, in some records, had him as Billy. I am actually related to this ancestor twice. Rachel Gillespie, born about 1835, Marlborough County, South Carolina.
All of these last names variations come from the same family line.
Jane James, born 1878 in Marlborough County, South Carolina, died around 1921, also in the same county. I don't know that much about her, but she's one of the few ancestors that I have found a true death certificate for that time period. Tom Harrington, born about 1868, died around February 1941. He's a husband of Jane. Adeline Quick, about 1836, Marlborough County, South Carolina. Dick Quick, about 810, Marlborough County, South Carolina. James Quick, Marlborough, South Carolina, 1837. Aggie. She's married to Quick. I couldn't find her maiden name. She was born about 1830 in South Carolina, in Marlborough County, South Carolina. J.C.L. Ware from Chesterfield County, South Carolina. He had family in Chesterfield County, Marlborough County, and Richmond County. Serena Harrington, born about 1840 in January in Marlborough County. Rachel Gillespie, 1835, Marlborough County. Hattie Irby, Marlborough County, South Carolina. Born about 1820 in South Carolina, not sure of the direct area, but she died in Marlborough County. I only have her name from her child's death certificate. This is Rayford Dumas, South Carolina. Some of his descendants continued on in Marlborough County and Richmond County, North Carolina. He was also known to be called through oral history Grandpa Sip. From what I found, he might have had two families within the same year, and I think he might have went from both houses. Dana Harrington, my oldest relative known to date. I found who owned her, who her people were, where the rest of the people went that was on the plantation with her. Jane Betty was born about 1850 in South Carolina. She was the wife of Alex. Not sure where she was born in this state or her death date. I just know that she lived in Marlborough County and raised her son Jacob, also later who became Professor Gordon. Alec Gordon, formerly known as Alex Collick, changed his name after slavery, born in 1841 in Chesterfield County, died in Marlborough County. Are you interested in learning about your family tree? Do you know where to start? Family Tree Guiding Journal will help you guide your research. If you already have research and you're stuck and don't know where to turn, 28 Tips for Researching African American Genealogy, Breaking the Brick Wall is a great resource to help you guide your research. The maps used in this research comes from My Genealogy Hound, Library of Congress. Our research came from FamilySearch.org, Ancestry.com, and the one image showed of Rayford Dumas comes from Lillie Christian. And all their chains, 'cause I'm no